which is funny because like not many people know this about me, but like I spent like half my childhood being raised by an Salvadorian family.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so like I know I'm like going on a tangent, but like this is
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much important to the story. But like when I was at my old house, you know, my parents, they were always working, right? Making sure that they put food on the table and stuff like that. My mom was a nail technician, a nail salon, you know, people, the people that does nails, stuff like that. And so she's always coming home late, like around 7 or 8, right? And then my dad was, he was a courier. He was so he worked at this dental lab place, right?
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
they make like I would say this is like 3D paint was it 3D printing of these teeth models.
Okay.
But without the 3D printing machine.
Interesting. Okay. So they're like making dentures essentially.
Yeah, basically,
Oh.
yeah. They're like making the models and stuff like that, the molds and stuff
Gotcha.
like that.
Okay.
And dentists would send in like the imprints that they take during like examination. They're like,
Sure. Yeah.
we need like a false teeth for whatever this is.
Yeah. And then they'll like basically make the mold out of that. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what my dad does, and you know he would usually get home late too, like around 6 or 7 as well. So yeah, I would get home from school around 4, and so you know, growing up alone, it was something that my parents didn't want me to go through too much, you know, being alone. But like essentially, I was raised alone throughout my whole life, right? And so like I was fortunate enough to have met my neighbor, which was a Salvadorian family, right? And then they decided to take me in whenever my parents were home, right?
Oh.
And
Yeah.
so I spent like half my childhood with them. And then when I mean spending half my time with them, I mean I went to some bomb ass Hispanic parties, bro. I met some cool ass uncles, man. I went to a quinceañera. I went to a baptism. All Latino stuff, man. This is I'm telling you, man. Hispanic people are one of the littest people I've ever met.
Oh, they're very lit. They're very lit.
I love the food. I love the food that they served me. It's great, man. It was great. It was food that I never had before. You know, and then you know the vibe, the people, and you know it's just I don't know. They're just so friendly, and I guess and that's something I wanted to bring into when I talk about me being in 7th grade, right? Because me being in 7th grade, I was around mostly Hispanic people, and I felt at home, you know. Even though I felt like, even though I went into Kilo thinking that I'm not gonna know anyone, you know, but like to my surprise, I went to Kilo, 7th grade, surrounded by a lot of Hispanics, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm one of you guys, man. I'm basically half Hispanic, man. And you know what?
Raised.
What's funny is that back then, like a lot of Asians think that I was Hispanic, and then the Hispanic people knew that
I remember people talking about that.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's clearly Asian. Like, what are you guys? What are you guys saying?
Yeah, y'all talked about me and behind my back, man. But but seriously, but like but yeah, no. The Asian people thought that I was Hispanic, and the Hispanic people knew I was Asian, so they were like,
yeah.
They're like, you do not look like a Hispanic at all, bro.
Yeah.
And then out of all the Hispanic friends that I've made in 7th grade, there was you, and then there was like 1 or 2 other Asians, right? That I've met. But then like I didn't think that meeting you at Kilo would set us on a path of like a brotherhood, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were always there for me, And then I remember, when we got to 8th grade, that's when I started meeting a whole bunch of Asians because I started joining pre-Ps and stuff like that.
Yep.
That was nutty.
Yeah, you saw the other side, the other half of the school at that point.
Yeah. But like before I go on, do you have any other any experience during the early stages of Kilo middle school?
Yeah. No, I enjoyed my time at Kilo. Mostly because most of the friends I met at Youngblood ended up going to Kilo. So it was just me going on with them again and hanging out with them again. But there were I did make some friends who went to O'Donnell. And I remember seeing you around, and you were hanging out with that same group of friends that that went up to O'Donnell, and I was like, hey, I remember Raymond. Yeah, I just never met him, until we met in PE, and that's when we got to know each other. But yeah, at that point, I was like, okay, we had a similar group of friends back in Youngblood. Yeah, let's just meet up, and I'm sure we'll get along. So that's how that started. Yeah.
We got more than long,
yeah, way more, way more, and then some. Yeah. But actually, my schedule was interesting. 7th grade, I did half PAP and half regular classes. The reason for that was because in my mind, I wasn't very good. I thought I wasn't very good at like language arts and English classes for whatever. I just didn't like writing essays or reading. So I took PAP math and PAP science, and those were my PAP classes. And then it turns out that my regular language arts teacher was like one of the best teachers I've ever had. Her name was Miss Henderson, and she was a phenomenal teacher, like in all aspects. She would challenge us to like write sentences without using very common words. So you couldn't use the word got. You couldn't use the article a in certain instances. You couldn't use the word through. You couldn't use like very like small words. You had to like find a replacement for those words, and it just made my writing a lot better. She also used to teach like PAP classes, so she kind of pushed our class a little bit harder. But I thought I got a really good language arts experience just from being in her class. And then I took PAP classes, all PAP classes the next year. Just continuing on with that. But yeah, most of my time in middle school was spent between band and speech and debate, so those were most of my memories are.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't in speech and debate, but I know that like a lot of the pre-AP students were in speech and debate, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy because now I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about all the people that I don't talk to anymore that I went to middle school with, and I just wish I could go back and just get to meet them, because I know that there's some people that I've seen around, just like how I've seen you around, but like I've never talked to you,
Yeah.
And I wish I could go back and just redo all that, just be able to just talk to them,
Yeah.
But it's okay. I've met I've met the right people, and I've stayed in contact with the right people. I would say. What's funny about being in my position, where I was in half pre-P, half regular, mostly in my first year at Kilo. And all pre-P in my second. Was normally, naturally, I get to know like both worlds, right? The people that are in the regular world and the people that are in pre-P. And I remember, I know I talked about this in past episodes, but like when I got into my first relationship, right?
Yeah.
Like not only were the people in the pre-P were this is the word that's going around, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
It also went around the regular students,
Oh man.
And then they were like, hey, really, you got a girlfriend and stuff like that, man.
Yeah. The entire school knew at that point.
dude, like, I remember like me and my first girlfriend. We were in the hallway holding hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the kids from my regular classes back then, they were all surprised. They're like, he has a girlfriend. I don't know. So like I heard a lot of like talks about it when we got together. But like, what did you think of it when you first heard that me and her got together?
Oh man. Yeah, it's I don't think I was actually that surprised. I think I kind of saw it coming.
Really?
Yeah. Because I noticed you two hanging out a bit more, and then I was like, okay, they're friends. Cool, that's awesome. And then when you guys actually hooked up, I was like, I should have seen that coming. To be honest with you, I should have seen that coming. So it was like a surprise, but not really surprise, you know.
Right.
Like I should have seen this coming, but I didn't, and I was a fool for not seeing that coming.
I mean, like I was as surprised as you are, bro. Cause like the way it went down, I was like, I remember vividly.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, hey, do you want to go out with me? And this was in science class.
Yeah.
It's crazy because this was on April Fool's Day.
It could have easily went the wrong way.
Hey, but you know what? Like, doing it on April Fool's was actually kind of big brain, you know? Because like, if she said no.
Yeah. It's like,
if she would have said no, I would have been, hey, April Fool's.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
I got you. And I turn around and I'm crying.
Pop a bunch of ice cream just to start eating.
But yeah, I mean, she was great. I mean, you know her as well as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she's a really great person, and
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much middle school, bro. Like, I mean we had band together, right, and stuff like that, and I played the clarinet, you know, like from 5th grade to like until I graduated high school. So that was like about 8 years of clarinet thing.
Yeah. I played percussion since 6th grade to 12th grade, so same thing.
Yeah, you did a lot of banging back in there.
Oh yeah, you know it. Nothing else to do back there.
Yeah, I think like when we first met in Killer, right? When you told me that you were in band, I was surprised. I was like, holy crap, me too. You know?
Something in common.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like we like from that day forward, man, like we went through so many things, you know. You know, we went with our teacher, you know, our band teacher back in middle school, Miss Brown.
Yeah,
Miss Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went through her, and then when we got to her, right, we had to go through Rodriguez, and then we had to go to Segrist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about, right? Lots to talk about. But like, I remember freshman year. Freshman year, we went on a band trip, right?
Oh yeah, to Boston
trip.
Yeah.
Honestly, to this day, that was like the best field trip I've ever had.
It's very fun.
Yeah, and I remember that you and I and Leroy we were rooming together.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. I don't know, but Boston. There's something special about Boston, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but like, there's something special about Boston. I'm sorry, I'm like cutting you off.
No, you're good, man. Don't worry. Yeah.
But like, okay, so let me hear what your experience was like in Boston, because it was probably different from what I've had.
No, I really enjoyed Boston. It was a lot of fun. I think part of the fun came from it being like we were freshmen in high school. We just got to high school, and then we're hanging out with pretty much all our friends for the first time by ourselves with no parental supervision. We just have adults in the form of our band orchestra teacher who were there, and some other teachers who were also like chaperoning along the way. But otherwise, it was just us hanging out, and they would give us some free time, and we would go wander off in the streets, check out some stores, check out Boston, and then come back, meet afterwards, and do a tour together. I think those experiences were kind of what made it fun, just being free,
Yeah, and I really enjoyed going to like those historical markers, and I know it sounds corny, but like when you read it about it in the history books, like the Battle of Gettysburg and stuff like that, and like you go to these spots, like it feels so surreal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And like when I talk about these history stuff about Boston, I think about Mr. Madsen. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
He was a great guy, and I remember we went to the stadium that the Red Sox played in.
Oh yeah.
And then we were in one of those
we were in the batting cages,
batting cages.
Swing.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't hit anything, bro.
Oh no, dude! I had like 2 max, and then failed the rest.
Yeah, but then I remember Mr. Madsen going in there, and he hit every single one, like
slammed every one of them.
Like, if you were to tell me this guy was like, I don't even know how old he was at the time.
I think he was like in his 50s, maybe. I don't remember.
Wow. Yeah. Because like I know that he passed away when we were in college. In
college.
Undergrad.
Yeah.
So he must have been really old, or he must have been going through something that I'm not aware of. But yeah, I miss Mr. Madsen. He was one of the greatest teacher I've ever met.
For sure.
What else? We besides Boston, we went through like a lot of other trips. Like to states and to other school to do competition.
Yeah, pretty much every year we would go for a state competition, and all of us would qualify. Just
right.
Just nature of it. Yeah. So we would all just hang out during state, which usually it was usually like in San Antonio, or I think there was one in Houston. And I don't remember the other places, but
right.
Yeah. But no, but it was still fun hanging out with everybody. Just
right. We can't really talk about our days in band back in Kern without talking about Rodriguez, right?
Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I did not like him when
I don't think very many of us liked him when we first started. To be honest, he was it's a different vibe from our other band teachers that we had in the past. So it was like a culture shock kind of when we first got to.
And like to elaborate a little bit more to the viewers, you can help me fill in the holes in the place.
Yeah, sure.
But Mr. Rodriguez, he was like a really strict teacher. In terms of like he was pushing us to, he was teaching us as if we were in college already, like we're going to major in music and stuff like that. And so we got exposed to like a lot of stuff in terms of like the quality of musics that we had to play. Some of it are like military band / college symphony level pieces, and he would teach us like music theories and stuff like that. And not just music theory. I remember he would teach us like physics and math and stuff like that. This man was smart, man. I think he was like
he was an engineering major.
Before.
Before he switched over to music.
Yeah, I was like, man, this man is smart, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I miss anything else?
Oh yeah, no, you pretty much hit it. I think he just held us to a higher standard, and he expected us to meet those standards on a daily basis. So whenever we didn't, he would be, he'd obviously be frustrated and disappointed because he expected us to perform at a certain level, which most of us by that point hadn't, achieved yet, or hadn't been pushed to that point yet. So it was kind of like a dyssynchrony between our expectations and his expectations. So kind of.
Yeah, and I was kind of disappointed that um, when he left during our senior year, you know, because like I think I was talking about it on Simon's podcast, right? And you know how like junior year was like a turning point for me in life.
Yeah.
This is like one of the changes that I wanted to make. You know, I wanted to do better in band. You know, because like Rodriguez, he's helped me so much. You know, and it took me like 3 years to realize it, to fully realize that this man like he gave all of his blood and sweat just to get me to succeed, you know, and that's all he wanted, you know, for us to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I really miss him. But the one thing I really miss is when he made us doing those breathing exercises, dude.
Oh.
The hell?
You mean y'all did breathing exercises at the back? And why does percussion need to breathe? We just hit our sticks, you know?
I don't know, but like, can you complain that we get to have a free nap time?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Because that's for us.
But like, Rodriguez, if you're watching this, don't taking offense to this. We really enjoyed the nap time. We really did. Now that I'm working full time and stuff like that, I wish I had more time for nap time. You know what I mean?
Sure. 100%, dude. I don't get any sleep. Rodriguez was a good guy. He expected a lot of us, which was pretty much like the first time any of us, you know, had someone in our corner and pushed us to be better than what we're capable of. And I think it took a lot of us way too long to realize, you know, what he wanted out of us. And then by the time he left, we're like, dang, he never got a chance to say thank you, never got a chance to say goodbye, and all these like unspoken things we could have told him.
But I know that he's I know that he's doing happy now. Oh, he's doing
it looks like he's doing well. Yeah,
he's really happy now. And you know what? Him leaving is bittersweet. You know, we didn't get to say goodbyes, but like but we're all doing our own thing, and you know he's off doing his own thing, and he's happy, and we're relatively happy, you know. And I think it was for the best, you know. Because like the teacher that came in after Rodriguez was Seegers, you know, and you know she was great. She was really great.
She was really nice. She was pretty close to our age too, so that kind of helped things.
So I think when we were 17 or 18, right? That's when we were seniors. She was like,
I think she was like fresh out of college, like 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah, around the early 20s. That's crazy, man. That's crazy because like, if you think about it, we're currently at the same age that she was when she was teaching, like not us, but like probably like the underclassmen that became seniors now. Man, that's crazy, man.
That's crazy to think about it.
I don't feel like I'm an adult. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I'm still in high school. I have no idea what I'm doing in life right now, bro.
I think that comes with the adult territory, you know. I don't think any of us know what we're doing. We're just taking it till we make it, you know?
I'm just like,
whatever works. And I made it this far, so I guess I'll continue.
One of the most memorable thing I had with Miss Seegers, did you do Regent?
I did. I don't think I did Regent senior year.
Okay. Yes, because I remember like not that many people went to Regent because you know not many people tried out. And I remember when we went to San Houston State University for one of the tryouts. She rented like a short bus, a short school bus to take us there, and
nice.
No, that was pretty funny, man. I thought I thought that we were gonna have like a whole bus together, you know, and
I guess it wouldn't make much sense with like how few students went.
Right? Yeah.
That year,
No, Miss Seegers was great. I felt No, I'm be honest with you. I think you sort of remember this too. But like, I had that one phase going through senior year in band where I was like, I didn't really appreciate Miss Egress, so to say, because I felt biased towards towards Rodriguez, you know.
Sure.
Because I felt like I felt like he's a better teacher. Or he would have done better, or he would have made sure that we all get like straight ones and stuff like that for UIL solos and stuff like that, right? Again, like every teacher is different, you know. Miss Segrist, like she has her own quirks, and she has her own strength, you know. And then one of the strengths that she had, you know, and I'm not saying this that Rodriguez doesn't have it, but like what she has emphasis on was that she was really kind. She was really relatable to us, you know. Because because of her age, and you know, it was cool seeing her one last time before she went back to the north. Like several years back, right? Like we all got invited to her house. To get together, you know.
Yeah, this is when we were like a few years into college already. He like pretty much had a housewarming party because I think she had bought a new house out in Cyprus, and she was like, "Hey, come check it out."
Right.
And she invited some old students as well, and some of her current students kind of went there. It was kind of nice. It was nice.
Right. Again, like just like with Rodriguez, she's happy, you know.
Yeah, she is happy.
She moved back home. She's happy. She doesn't have to deal with us anymore. She doesn't have to deal with me anymore.
I mean, she didn't have to deal with you, you know, after you graduated, but
yeah. Nah, man. Like, no matter who was my band teacher in Kerr, I felt both of them, like both Rodriguez and Segrist, they motivated me to do so much. But the one person that motivated me the most was probably have to be Naomi.
Oh yeah, Naomi.
I remember knowing about her when I was in freshman year, and I knew that she was good. You know, I knew she was an incredible clarinet player, like one of the best clarinet player I've ever heard. You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember thinking, I was like last chair, non-varsity band, right? I was thinking to myself, man, I was like, man, there's no way I'm ever gonna be as good as her. You know, there's no way I'm ever gonna be as good as her.
Like the polar opposite of Naomi, just
yeah, like I don't want to talk bad about her or anything like behind her back, but like I just remember like, wow, I was like, damn, she looks kind of mean, man. She looks kind of mean. I don't really want to talk to her. Well, like then like. The closer I got to her in terms of like the ranking and stuff, like, you know, I moved up the ranks. You know, I went from non-varsity to varsity, and then I moved from last chair to close to first chair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The closer I got to her, like the more I realized how nice she was. You know,
she's so sweet. She's so nice.
She's probably one of the most incredible. She is probably one of the most incredible people I've ever met. I love her sassiness. She was always sassy, and she was also sarcastic and stuff. And
yeah, her jokes were always on point. It was.
I miss her. I really miss her. And I don't know, like the one thing she said something to me. I think it was during junior year or senior year, right? She was like. So I was I was in one of the practice rooms, right? I was practicing one of my solo pieces.
Yeah.
And then I was in there for a good 30 minutes, you know, during the whole lunch period.
Yeah.
And I remember I was done practicing. I got my stuff out, right? I got out of the practice room, and who do I see? I see Naomi, you know, sitting at the table, and then she was like, "Raymond, that was you?" And I was like, yeah, we're, what do you mean by that? No, she was like, no, I just wanted to say you sounded really good. I was like, hold on. Are you sure there's no other clarinet player?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like that's like the biggest compliment I've got. You know, like to get a compliment from a really good clarinet player.
Yeah. High praise.
I'm like to the viewers, like Naomi, she had private lessons, right? So she had private lessons, so she had honestly more experience in playing the clarinet than I do. But to hear her say that to me, that's just like it felt heartwarming, you know. It felt really heartwarming, and I have no one else to thank but her, Seagrass, and Rodriguez to give me the push and the motivation that I developed in life, you know, to pursue what I want to do and to work hard for it, to practice more, and to go for whatever I want in life, right?
Yeah, but you also put in the time. Like it was you who actually like sat down, did the time.
Yeah.
You know, brought yourself from last year of non-varsity all the way to like second chair varsity. So it, you did it, man.
The crazy thing is that Naomi, like towards the end of our senior year, right? She was always like telling me like, you deserve first chair and stuff like that, and I'm like, no. No. Maybe I'm just being too modest or too humble, you know. But like I feel like me and her, I felt like it didn't really matter if I was second or first, you know. The fact that I got to basically essentially work with her, you know, was a blessing, you know. Enough of my music experience. I know you in a percussion, you guys have a lot of stories to tell, right?
Probably some of it can't be legal. I'm not gonna. yeah. No, we had a good time in percussion. I think my experience was I had really good juniors and seniors when we started freshman year, and they were troublemakers to say the least, but they're also very good at what they did, you know, percussion wise, music wise. They so you can't really blame them for, you know, being a little mischievous here and there, occasionally pulling pranks and everything. But yeah, I think they kind of influenced us freshmen and our mentality. So we started pulling pranks on everybody and, you know, being up to no good. But we also just learned a lot from them musically. They were very good at what they did, and they were a lot of fun to hang around. We also had a separate class apart from regular band, just all percussionists. And I remember when we first started, Mr. Rodriguez is not a percussionist. He was actually a woodwind, or I think he was a brass player, if I'm not mistaken.
Brass.
So he actually put in the time and effort to learn percussion and to teach us as effectively as he could, which I thought was pretty great. Like, he took the time to learn this instrument that he had minimal experience in, and, you know, got to a point where he was good enough to teach us some of the fundamentals and the basics and more advanced techniques of percussion, which I thought was pretty great. But I think on top of that, I think because of the nature of the percussion crew, we got on his nerves a lot. So what I mean is, there was one time where we were just kind of goofing around, and we accidentally dropped the glockenspiel, which is like this metal bell kit that we used to play. That thing cost like $5,000 easy. We just dropped it on accident, made a huge loud jingle sound. Everybody just had a pause, very palpable pause, and then all you see is Mr. Rodriguez like storm out the cafeteria, push the door as hard as he could, and then that was that. And we're like, well, damn, we're gonna go lecture later.
And yeah, I think your story is a good example of why we thought, or why we didn't, you know, really like him, because we felt like he was being an asshole, you know.
Yeah.
Being a jerk.
But like, I think it's warranted, to be honest. We were just joking around and we accidentally knocked over a glockenspiel that cost that amount of money. I think we deserved the lecture, to be honest.
It's only $5,000, man.
Only $5,000. Yeah. No, those mishaps pretty much happen on the daily. Like we would always knock over something, or we would be goofing around too much, and it just got on the nerves, and he would just tell us to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moments in band, like overall, like both middle school and high school, and even young blood?
I think my favorite moments were pretty much whenever we were about to perform. Not like the performance itself, but like whenever everybody was like on the bus going to like competition or going to a performance.
Yeah.
Just because those were the times where we like just bonded the most. We were able to talk to each other like freely, and we got to hang out a little bit, play some games, got to explore like whatever convention center we were at for a little bit, and then it's serious business after that. Where we all had a goal together to accomplish, and then set out to do it. And I think that's pretty special that you don't really get in many other like fields. You definitely get in sports and everything like that, but our high school didn't have sports. So I think it's pretty special just having that experience with everybody.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree with you. That was probably the best moments I've ever had in my whole band career. Like just like we went every single competition. It felt the same, right? Every performance we did, every competition, it felt the same. Whether it was performing it for our parents or performing it in front of judges. It all felt the same to us. But like looking back now, I wish I could have cherished it a little bit more. A little bit more, because there's nothing that I do now in life that is on the same level of that feeling I have. I mean, like you'll go through workplaces and stuff, and you'll have colleagues and stuff like that. It's just not the same, man. It's just not the same. And
there's not as much camaraderie as there was like back then. And that's like no one's fault. It's just we didn't have much to do back then. All we had was each other and the company of each other. So that's what we did. Just hang out with each other.
Yeah, my favorite bonding experience that we ever had was every time we went to state to perform up in state, which is at the University of Texas. In Austin. That was a great moment because we get to explore the whole campus on our own, And then it felt like I was actually in college at that time. And, we were like juniors and seniors, right? And we were getting closely there. But still, though, it was amazing. I mean, like, these days we could just drive up to Austin whenever we want, But back then, like, to go on a field trip like that, I know it's not that big. It's like only like a couple hours away. So, in comparison to like other big schools where they get to go to like Carnegie Hall, or they get to go to Disney World or Orlando Park and stuff like that. But like Kerr is a small school. We don't have that much budget. Okay. Going to Austin like is our equivalent to like going to another state.
I'd do it all over again, to be honest. Band, it was a good time.
Honestly, I would go through high school again, but like minus all the work and stuff. 100%.
I did not. Yeah, the work was.
I feel like you're lying, bro. How? No. Okay. Explain to me. How were you able to go through Kerr to do all those packs, to do all those projects, tests and stuff like that, and still sleep at like what, 9?
Hey man. It didn't mean I enjoyed it, okay? It didn't mean I enjoyed it. I had to have discipline. Be well rested, but it didn't mean I enjoyed it.
Oh my God. No, but that's still incredible though. The fact that you were able to do all this and like still be able to sleep at 9. And I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what rank were you like at the end of it all?
I think I was rank 5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I think you were telling me how like you didn't want to be valedictorian or salutatorian because you didn't want to give a speech.
Yeah, I didn't want to give a speech. What words of advice would I have to give my fellow classmates? I don't know anything more than you guys do, to be honest. Like, there's nothing for me to offer. Like,
see,
it just sounds pretentious, to be honest.
See, that's where I say that you're pretty smart, Jimmy. You know, you're smart enough not to do too well to give a speech. You know.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Man, like I mean, what kind what kind of advice would you give now that you've been through college, med school, and stuff like that?
Oh, that's a good question. I think going through med school and being a doctor now, it really like puts in perspective like how tough getting into medical school and going down that route is. It's very tough. You have to be very committed. It takes a special person who doesn't necessarily want instant gratification, because it's definitely delayed gratification. Right. Once you start that path, you won't see the light of the tunnel until like way later. I still probably don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, even though I'm already a doctor. I'm just in my second year of residency right now, and I still gotta learn the ropes and everything before I'm a full doctor, a full attending. Yeah, so that'll take some while. And then once I'm an attending, I have to learn those ropes too, make sure I'm doing the right thing and doing the best I can. And that may take me a few more years after that before I feel comfortable with where I'm at. But even then, medicine's always changing, so you always got to stay up to date on your knowledge, and you always got to know what the latest technology is out there, what the latest treatments are out there, the latest disease processes are out there, especially COVID now and everything. So you gotta stay on top of that. So I don't think I'll ever feel comfortable, Which isn't to say like I don't love what I love what I do. It's great. And I'd probably do it all over again. But it definitely takes a special person to go down that route, and they have to be very dedicated to what they're doing to be even remotely successful as a doctor.
Right. Yeah, I was always under the assumption that if you go into the med field, you have to go into it wanting to help those people.
100%.
Yeah, you want to help people over making money. Is what I assumed.
Yeah, if your mindset is to go into medicine and to make money, you're not going to be a very good doctor, like at all. You're not going to help the people who really need it, and you're just going to end up doing more harm than good, which is kind of the counterpoint of what medicine is,
Right. So I want to get a little bit into apply a little bit about what we're talking about to real life situation right now,
Sure.
And obviously you're at the forefront of COVID. The pandemic and stuff like that, and I just want to hear your experience about it so far.
So I started my intern year, which is my first year of residency, in COVID, pretty much in the pandemic. COVID was pretty much in full force by then. So I spent the majority of that year just dealing with COVID and learning of COVID. And in some ways, it kind of hampers the learning of medicine that I'm supposed to, incorporate, because you start residency, you're supposed to like learn different disease processes and different management styles, but most of it I kind of just saw COVID, so I became like a COVID master, so to say. Just learn how to treat that. It kind of sucks, but towards the end of my first year though, we saw more variety, and it was kind of nice. And then especially during my second year, I saw more variety, so things are starting to pick up, which is kind of nice. So that's kind of like one aspect that kind of sucked about COVID. The second part was, especially when you're in the ICU and you see all these patients who are on the ventilator at the end of their life, you deal with some really hard discussions with family members about how to proceed. So let me give you an example. There's like several patients who as COVID, their infection gets worse and worse, the body starts to decline to compensate. Eventually they'll need to be put on a ventilator. With the ventilator, the vent is helps supporting their lungs when their lungs aren't adequately supporting their body. And then with that, on top of that, they also prone to like infections of the lung, and they've been in the hospital for a very long time, so they get infections elsewhere as well. And then all of a sudden, their clinical course kind of takes a turn because the body's working so hard to try to fight this infection that it starts shutting down at a certain point. And at a certain point, we have to talk to the family. Hey, we've tried most everything we can to try to keep this your loved one alive, and here's what we predict will happen if we keep going down this route. Eventually the body will keep shutting down. We can keep them alive as long as we can because we have medicines to do that, but is it ethical to do so? That's kind of the question we ask ourselves all the time whenever we get to those end of life discussions. And it's tough for the families because they have to make a hard choice. Like, do they hold out for a miracle and hope that their loved one will bounce back and recover, or do they pull the plug, say, hey, I don't want them to suffer anymore. I don't want any more like invasive procedures to be done. Let's pull the plug. So dealing with those end of life discussions doesn't get any easier, and it probably won't. It doesn't necessarily apply to COVID either. Many disease processes have like terminal states you got to talk about with families and patients themselves, and you got to make them realize like this is kind of the end goal or the end course of something. So I think learning to deal with that is very challenging, very tough, especially if you haven't dealt with that before. So it takes an emotional toll on you, and at some point you got to learn to separate your work life from your personal life. Otherwise, if you take all this home, you're gonna be very depressed and not gonna function very well. So yeah, those were those were kind of the main things that were probably the hardest part about medicine starting out. Plus me not knowing anything. It's there's so much in medicine that is changing all the time that you gotta be up to date on. So the knowledge part will come with time, and it'll probably keep building over time. So yeah, medicine is it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Yeah, see, stuff that you do, I don't think I could ever do half of what you guys do. And this goes out to everyone that works in the medical field, like doctors, pharmacists, and nurses, especially. You people are like twice the person I am, and that's not something that I can do. That's because I feel like to become someone that works in the medical profession, you somewhat have to be a psychopath.
Oh yeah, like low key, you kind of have to, or a masochist. You gotta we're inflicting all this self harm on ourselves.
That's not something that I can go with, because I when I hold emotions, right, I hold it until I get it all balled up in me. It's just like it's not healthy for me. And this is why this is the reason why I wanted to do this podcast, is because I wanted to vent out my thoughts and emotions, and making sure that I don't blow up. And but man, dude, like just hearing your stories, and I've read other stories online as well. I've heard about like COVID people that are in ICU that tell the doctor that they're afraid, right? And these are people that aren't vaccinated or anything, right?
Yeah.
And then I could only imagine how frustrating it must feel, right? To hear that from a non-vaccinated person and be like, you just want to tell them, you just want to say, well, then why didn't you take the vaccine earlier? It's I don't know. I've dealt having to make the decision to let go of someone before, and I know it's never easy, because like not only does the moment you pull the moments prior to pulling the plug, like it doesn't get easier after that. Like that emotion like stays there for weeks, months, even years, right?
Yeah, that guilt. Even though it's like not you to blame, you know, like no one's to blame in this situation, but you still feel that feeling of guilt, and that can persist for years, you know.
And yeah, I still because you know about Lucky, right?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to compare a dog's life to a human life. I'm just saying, you know, like Lucky to me was family to me, no matter what, no matter if he was a person or an animal. Losing a loved one is never easy. I mean that goes without saying. And to be one of those people that experience that like on a daily basis with different families, different situations, stuff like that. That takes a lot out of you, man.
Yeah, it takes a lot for sure. And those families remember you, you know? Even if you don't remember them, because you're seeing all these families, you know, they all kind of blur together, they'll remember you, because you're the doctor who, you know, told them the medical stuff, and told them what was happening, and they interacted with you on a daily basis, so they'll remember you.
I know this podcast isn't supposed to be like anything like non-vaccinated, vaccinated people. But like, what kind of advice would you give to these people that that are on the fence about being vaccinated?
Yeah. Well, I think we have good data now, for sure, saying that vaccines definitely prevent hospitalizations, or are like 94 to 96% effective in preventing hospitalization or severe symptoms of COVID. So that in and of itself is fantastic. Like having a vaccine that can keep you out of the hospital. You may still get COVID because the vaccine isn't sterilizing. It doesn't get rid of the virus. You can still get COVID, but it'd be very mild symptoms, and that's way better than ending up in the hospital, potentially in the ICU, on a ventilator, and not knowing when your last days will be. I think getting the COVID vaccine is definitely warranted. And now we have a new variant, the Omicron variant, which apparently is highly infectious. So, you know, I think it's even more reason to get the vaccine. And, you know, I think this pattern will keep repeating. Find likely more new variants, likely more infectious than the last, and who knows when the next one will be like the one that's the scary one.
Yeah, so. the thing about COVID is like, it's scary because the longer it goes on, like it just starts to integrate into society, and then we just become desensitized to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's where I'm like really concerned. You know, like we start becoming so desensitized to it. You know, like just be like, oh, it's nothing. You know, like they're gonna start treating COVID like it's a common cold. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I remember when I got my booster shot, like it was like the day before they announced that, oh, there's a new strand that came out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Come on, man.
Yeah, like COVID does not sound fun at all, bro. I mean,
it doesn't.
I've had flu before.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is like nothing compared to the COVID.
Yeah. I've had the flu too, and I was dying, man. I was really cold, but my temperature was like 103, so I couldn't blanket myself up because I felt so cold. But my internal temperature was like super high, and I was coughing the entire time. I was sneezing the entire time. I just felt miserable, dude. I can't imagine getting COVID. Like it's probably like 10 times worse, to be honest.
Yeah, I got I think I told you a little bit. A while back, I got the flu, and you know this was during COVID, and I was like,
okay.
Oh shit! Did I get COVID? I did go get tested, but I showed up negative, which thank God I was negative. And then I was thinking like, how how did I get the flu? And then it turns out I ate a bad sushi the night before.
Oh.
So I got stomach flu, but it was bad though, man. I do not enjoy having sore joints, sore aches.
Oh yeah. Body aches, GI symptoms like stomach aches and diarrhea and stuff like that. Oh man, it's miserable, dude.
That's not fun. And like that's like I assume those are like one of the symptoms of COVID as well. And then
it is.
On top of that, you have like respiratory issues as well.
Yeah, respiratory issues. Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't sound fun at all. And that's not, I would rather honestly just take the vaccine, deal with the side effects now, and then not have to end up in the ICU. That's
for sure.
Yeah.
Then once we get COVID, even if you recover from COVID, a lot of people are reporting like side effects called long COVID kind of symptoms where they have kind of like a brain fog, they have difficulty concentrating. Some people haven't even regained their sense of smell or taste.
Yeah.
So there's like long-term consequences from getting the virus as well, unfortunately.
That's
yeah.
It's basically you're living as a backseat driver at that point.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, that's. Man, I've talked to a lot of medical personnel about this, and they've all said the same thing about what you said, or like in a general ballpark. They're all frustrated with the whole situation, with how it's being handled and how people are reacting to it. And again, like when I first heard that you needed to get the vaccine, I was like, okay. I
want
to get the
vaccine.
No-brainer.
Yeah.
But then like you have people that are just refusing to get the vaccine, and I'm not questioning you, the people that aren't trying to get the vaccine or anything. It's just that we live in a really frustrating time, and I wish COVID didn't happen, but like I mean. It is what it is, right? I mean.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. I think it's a good thing that they initially questioned the vaccine, like whether it was efficacious or not. I think that it's good to have that critical thinking and be a little bit skeptical about whatever people are putting out. But I think at a certain point, your reason and judgment should say, hey, we have enough data to support like this vaccine actually working. And at that point there's only one choice: the vaccine.
Right.
It works.
I guess we can go into our final thoughts.
Sure.
Any final thoughts, concerns, comments?
Don't really have any profound final thoughts. Just for the viewers, just do whatever you want. Honestly, don't. If you have a dream, go big or go home. Do everything you can to achieve that dream. Kind of like what we talked here, Raymond, with his clarinet playing and band, he put in the time, he put in the work. Man, he definitely achieved it. He definitely got to where he wanted to be. And he's kind of applying that to the rest of his life now. He's doing the best he can, putting in the time, putting in the effort, and you get results. It's the same for medicine. You don't have to be the smartest. I think anyone can do medicine, to be honest with you. It just takes a lot of time and effort, especially if maybe you don't learn as quickly as maybe your peers. That's not necessarily true. Just put in the time, put in the effort. You'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to become a doctor, just be like Jimmy.
No. Like I said, I'm not that smart. I just work very hard.
Yeah. I mean, I've said what I've said. I mean, I've said this so many times in this podcast. You've been a brother to me, and I hope that we continue this journey of what we call life together and
for sure.
See it to the very end, And,
for sure, man.
I appreciate what you and all the medical personnel have been able to do in this time of pandemic, and I hope you guys continue to have that strength to push on and to see the end of this whenever it ends. And then to everyone else, including myself, we all have a part in this pandemic, even if we're not working in a hospital or anything. We all have our own part in this whole thing. We just gotta be responsible. I'm not saying go out and take the vaccine or anything. I'm not trying to say any of that, but I encourage you to do. I encourage you to do. But like, my message is that just think about your family, your friends, everyone else. Like my family over in Vietnam recently got COVID. Like a couple of them got COVID. Mm-hmm. Luckily, they were all vaccinated already. Mm-hmm. And then so they were able to recover from COVID. But like just think that this could have been your family. This could have been family members that are, don't have like a strong immune system. That are old, that are young, and everyone in between. They're at high risk. I would say, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Especially since if their immune system isn't up to par for whatever reason, maybe they have cancer, maybe they're on like treatment for cancer, maybe their immune system isn't great to begin with, and they can't receive the vaccine, then you just got to do your part to stay safe. Yeah. I mean, I encourage getting the vaccine as well, and it's ultimately up to you. I'm not going to force anybody to get the vaccine, but my message is just stay safe. Be smart, do the safe thing, and keep those around you safe as well.
Yeah, I think we ran through a lot of stuff. I think we've hit our time. Again, if you guys enjoyed this episode and this podcast series, make sure to leave a like in the bottom. And if you didn't like it, you know what? Just give it a dislike. It helps with the algorithm. You know what I mean? And if you wanna keep up with future episodes of my podcast, you can subscribe or you can follow my Instagram. For any more updates. All that would be in the description below. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. So unless Jimmy has something.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Alright. I guess with that, thank you for joining on this next episode of the Rayflection Show. I will see you on the next one.